Hi everyone, it's Miss Jessa, and today we are going to be making bubbles. Now, you can always buy bubbles at the store, but sometimes the process of making bubbles is the true joy. So let's get started, let's talk materials. It's very simple, and they're things that you can find around the house. You need to have, and I'll share the recipe with you afterwards, because the recipe is a bit flexible, and we'll see how that's flexible, but you'll need a cup of water. You'll need dish soap. I choose Dawn because I think that it makes the bubbles a little stronger. You need a bowl for mixing. You need to have paper towel rolls, 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, who knows, up to you. You can always take a paper towel roll and cut it in half. And for our extension activity afterwards, we're going to be using food coloring. So, let's get started. You're going to pour your water in a bowl. Boop. And I'm going to let you see how much Dawn I use. It's about 2 cups, I would think, but you'll be able to eyeball what feels right to you, and I'm going to let you see the consistency. I already have some in there. I'm going to share it with you. So you want to really get a lot in there. And we want double the amount of dish soap to water. All right, here's a pro tip here. Now, your child or you will probably want to mix it up. You're going to try to mix it really slow. So you could sing a really slow mixing song with your child and say, like, mix, mix, mix the bubbles, mix, mix, mix the bubbles, mix, mix, mix the bubbles, pass it on to, and then you can take turns with each other or with siblings. But we want to go slow because we don't want to have all the little bubbles form at the top because those will get in the way of your bubble making. So I'll show you. You slowly start mixing, you notice the bubbles start coming. That's part of the fun too. If your child does go woohoo with this mixing and loves the bubbles, fantastic. And just know that you can still use that bubble mixture. Just let it sit until all the little bubbles are kind of gone, and then you can really blow some bubbles. But, who doesn't love a nice bubble bath? Okay. It's like a little bubble bath. All right. So now that you have this together, I forgot you also need one more ingredient. Either sugar helps, cornstarch as another alternative. We're adding one more ingredient to make the bubbles a little bit stronger. It could be a teaspoon of cornstarch, could be a teaspoon of honey. It could also be a teaspoon of cooking oil. So I'm going to go get a teaspoon of cooking oil real quick. And I'm back. So, a little teaspoon. I'm going to kind of eyeball it here and just do a little bit. And this is, again, to prevent the bubbles from popping really quick. Just a little sealant. And you'll do a little bit more mixing to get in there. And you might be asking yourself, why do we have the paper towel rolls? Well, the paper towel rolls will be the tool that you use to make the bubbles. So, I have my paper towel. As you see, I used it a little bit before. You're going to press it in, and you can see how far I went. Doesn't really matter as long as there's a coating on the side. There we go. Can you see my, you can see the reflection of my coating. So then you're going to want to tell your child to blow really slow. And I just realized I have a fan in my room, so if I turn off my fan, it might be more better bubbling. Okay. All right. So I turned off one fan. We'll see if that helps. But then you can, made a bubble. And it's super fun, and you can use different tools. As long as it's something that has a hole in it. Some people like to use pipe cleaners, right? Pipe cleaners, I'll show you a picture in a minute. And some people can also use wire or hangers that you kind of manipulate. Just be sure that if there is a sharp edge that you cover it with tape or something or clay or something that will not stick your kid. But yeah, I like these two. And then you can also kind of get a little creative if you want different shaped bubbles, and you could even tape these together and go have a double bubble. You could also dip this in and let me see. You know what? Experiment with it. Find the best way to blow a bubble. That was a pretty good one. You can play games like who can make the biggest bubble. Or you can play a game of maybe can you catch your bubble, right? Let's see if I can catch my bubble. Whoop. Sometimes you can catch a bubble with another bubble. There's so many fun things that you can do with this. Here's some bubble wand ideas. Pipe cleaners are great. You can bend them to make different shapes, and if you want to add beads to decorate it, that's fun too. If you want to make really big bubbles, 2 sticks and some string, and you can really, whew! And straws are really great. We're going to be using straws in our extension activity next for making bubble art. There's so many fun things that you can do with this. And our extension activity will be bubble art. So for bubble art, you're going to want to take your bubble mix, and you're going to want to have different bowls because you're going to have different colors. So even though it's blue, it'll come out that color. Oh. I'm going to use food coloring. If I was in the classroom, I might use the Crayola watercolor paints that we use because they don't dye as much, kind of, and they are safe, as is food coloring, but you know your kid's best. And I'm going to put some red in there. Woohoo! Let's give it a shot. A generous amount. Let's see, I'm going to pick another color. Maybe I'll do, Oh, and then I'm going to slowly mix up. Maybe I'll do red, and then what's good with red? Maybe blue. A nice little mix. So I'm going to carefully put some in there. There we go. So now I'll have 2 bowls of bubble solution. This one is red. This one is going to be, as we said, blue. And then, you know, just because I like to sort of mix it up a little bit, oh yeah. I'm just going to go with the primary colors because you just can't go wrong with them. Let's do yellow, shall we? Oh, forgot to put in my bubble mixture. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Okay. Make that move over here. I forgot to mix up my blue. I've mixed up my red. I'm now thinking I might want to wash that spoon before I put it in with the yellow. And once you have your bubble consistencies, you might want to use a straw. I prefer a straw, though I don't have one. I would suggest you try a straw, or you can use the paper towel rolls, or you could use the pipe cleaners if you'd like. Whatever you'd like. It's not something too big because we're going to be doing bubble art. Bubble art is fun. It's process oriented. Just like bubbles, it's open-ended and really creative. So now that I have my yellow, my blue, and my red, I'm going to get a piece of paper. I suggest watercolor paper, but if you're like me and you don't have that, you need a paper towel, and you can just use printer paper. Thanks for being so patient. Bubbles do get messy. Okay, but that's part of the fun. A great outdoor activity, if you ask me. I'm getting a piece of paper to start my bubble art. So here's my piece of paper. I suggest watercolor, but printer paper will do. And I'm going to use my tools. First, I'm going to go with red, and let's see if you can see my work a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm going to try red, and I'm going to blow. Oh! And I got a little red. Let's see if I can make it even more. Whoop! And when it explodes on your paper, if that's what you want to call it, it creates a little design. I'm going to go with that yellow now. And now I'm thinking about it. You want to be careful with the ones that you choose because you want to have one side that's always dry. So that's where your mouth goes. Ah! I have some yellow. Let's do 2 for good luck. And so if you have a smaller, straw or a smaller tool, it is just as fun, if not more color, more of a pop. Let's do the blue, shall we? And so it's kind of fun. You can see it sort of explode on the paper, right? And you can do this with all the colors. Maybe you want to do a rainbow. Maybe with your child you want to do a color mixing of the primary colors to make red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, indigo, all of the bubbles, and maybe make a rainbow with that. That's fun too. As you can see, even I'm having fun. So I hope you really enjoyed this bubble making activity and some of the extension activities that I have as well. We talked about bubble painting. We talked about using a smaller tool. We talked about maybe doing color mixing with food coloring and the primary colors to make bubble mixtures of all of the rainbows of colors and doing that. Yeah. So enjoy and have fun and have a wonderful summer. I'll share with the recipe with you now. Bye.